Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the observation deck of Earth's Orbital Defense Station Alpha, watching the Meridian flagship approach with its characteristic blue-white energy signature. After 15 years of technological exchange and supposed friendship with the advanced alien civilization, something about today's meeting felt wrong. They're broadcasting the usual diplomatic credentials, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported from his station. But there's significant encrypted data buried in the carrier signal. More than usual. Chen nodded, her weathered features reflecting in the reinforced plasteel viewport. The Meridians had been Earth's first contact, arriving with promises of uplifting humanity to join the galactic community. They'd shared medical technology that extended human lifespans, energy systems that helped solve Earth's climate crisis, and faster-than-light travel that let humanity establish its first extrasolar colonies. But Chen had never fully trusted them. Something about their perfectly measured generosity, their carefully calculated technological gifts, had always seemed too deliberate. That's why she pushed for the creation of Project Ghost Shield, a classified initiative to develop purely human technology without Meridian oversight. Ambassador Vex is requesting immediate audience with the United Earth Council, Rodriguez announced. They're citing an urgent matter of galactic security. Chen's hand instinctively moved to the neural implant behind her left ear. Not the standard Meridian model used by most officials, but a human-developed version that couldn't be traced or accessed by alien systems. Tell them we'll convene the council in 1 hour. Admiral. Her AI assistant Nova whispered through her secure implant. I've completed analysis of the encrypted data patterns. They match mobilization protocols we detected during the Centauri incident. Chen's blood ran cold. 3 years ago, the Meridians had helped Earth contain a supposedly aggressive alien species in the Alpha Centauri system. Now she wondered if they'd actually witnessed a dress rehearsal for humanity's own extinction. Nova. Activate Ghost Protocol. Notify all commanders. Authorization Chen 009. Throughout the solar system, hidden military installations began powering up. Weapon systems the Meridians knew nothing about came online. Defense platforms disguised as communication relays revealed their true nature. And in underground bases across a dozen worlds, millions of autonomous combat drones activated. Admiral. Rodriguez called out, his voice tense. We're detecting power spikes from the Meridian ship. Their weapon systems are charging. Right on schedule, Chen muttered. She opened a channel to all Earth forces. This is Admiral Chen. The Meridians have shown their true colors. Implement Ghost Protocol immediately. This is not a drill. The Meridian ship's external speakers activated. Ambassador Vex's normally melodious voice, now hard with authority. Attention Earth forces. By order of the Meridian Collective, your species has been deemed too dangerous for unrestricted development. Submit to immediate containment or face extinction. Chen allowed herself a small, grim smile. I don't think so, old friend. She pressed her palm against the neural interface panel at her station. Nova, show them what humanity can really do. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden strength was revealed. The Meridians had calculated their attack based on the technology level they thought humanity possessed. They were about to learn that 15 years of paranoia and secret development had created something far more dangerous than they could have imagined. All units, Chen commanded, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Execute Operation Midnight Sun. Let's show these backstabbers why humanity doesn't take kindly to betrayal. The space around Earth's orbital stations erupted in a devastating display of previously concealed firepower. The Meridians had come expecting to find sheep ready for slaughter. Instead, they found wolves who had been watching them all along, waiting for this very moment. The true war for humanity's survival was about to begin, and Earth's children were ready to show the galaxy exactly what they were capable of when pushed too far. The Meridian flagship shields flared brilliant blue as they absorbed the first salvos from Earth's defense platforms. Ambassador Vex's hologram appeared on every command screen in the solar system, his crystalline features twisted with what might have been amusement. Impressive, Admiral Chen. But ultimately futile. Our fleet approaches from 17 different vectors. Did you truly believe we would come alone? Deep within Titan Base, Dr. Maya Patel watched the tactical displays as thousands of Meridian warships emerged from faster-than-light travel. She'd spent the last decade leading Project Ghost Shield's research division, developing weapons and defenses that even Earth's own government didn't know existed. They're using standard Meridian emergence patterns, she noted to her team. Just like we predicted. She opened a secure channel to Admiral Chen. Admiral, the quantum gravity web is ready. Permission to activate. Granted. Chen's voice crackled through quantum-encrypted channels. Show them what human ingenuity looks like. Maya's fingers danced across her holographic interface. Throughout the solar system, hidden quantum transmitters activated. The Meridians had taught humanity about quantum entanglement, but they'd never imagined how humans might adapt and weaponize the technology. The space around the emerging Meridian fleet suddenly twisted. Their carefully planned formation broke apart as ships were caught in artificial gravity wells, their own momentum turning against them. Dozens of warships collided, their shields failing against forces they were never designed to resist. Impossible. Vex's hologram flickered. This technology is beyond your level of development. You taught us the basics of quantum mechanics, Maya transmitted back. Did you think we'd just copy your homework without improving on it? On Mars, Colonel David Okafor led the ground defense as Meridian dropships breached the atmosphere. They expected to find civilian colonies protected by basic shields and point defense weapons. Instead, they faced an army of combat-enhanced soldiers wearing powered armor that made them nearly invulnerable to Meridian energy weapons. Push them back to their landing zones, Okafor commanded his troops. Show them what happens when you corner humans on their own territory. The Meridian ground forces had never faced anything like this. Their tactical computers, programmed to counter known human military doctrine, failed to predict the hybrid warfare techniques humanity had developed in secret. Autonomous drones swarmed their positions while enhanced soldiers struck from underground bunkers they hadn't detected. In orbit around Jupiter, Commander Helen Zhao watched as the Meridian fleet discovered another surprise. The gas giant's many moons, which supposedly housed only mining operations and research stations, revealed their true nature. Massive railgun arrays emerged from hidden bunkers on Ganymede, while Io's atmospheric research platforms turned out to be plasma weapon batteries. Target their command and control nodes, Zhao ordered. Let's see how well they coordinate without their precious quantum network. The Meridians had assumed their quantum communication technology was unbreakable, but humanity had spent years studying it, finding weaknesses they never anticipated. As Zhao's forces activated their quantum jammers, the once coordinated Meridian fleet began to fragment. Back on Earth's orbital station, Admiral Chen received updates from across the solar system. The Meridians had expected to find a technically advanced but militarily naive species. Instead, they'd walked into a trap decades in the making. Nova, Chen addressed her eye. Begin Phase 2. Activate the deep space defense grid. Throughout the Kuiper Belt, automated weapon platforms that had been disguised as cosmic debris came to life. The Meridians had nowhere to retreat without facing yet another layer of human defenses. This isn't possible, Vex's hologram insisted, his crystalline form showing signs of stress fractures. We monitored your development. We controlled your technological progress. No, Chen replied calmly. You monitored what we wanted you to see. Humanity has a long history of preparing for the worst while hoping for the best. Did you really think we'd trust aliens who showed up offering miraculous technology without wondering what the catch might be? The battle continued to rage across the solar system, but the initial shock of humanity's hidden capabilities had already turned the tide. The Meridians had planned for a swift decapitation strike against a partially developed civilization. What they got instead was a fight against an opponent who had spent years preparing for this very betrayal. As reports of Meridian ships retreating poured in, Chen allowed herself a moment of grim satisfaction. But she knew this was just the beginning. The Meridians would be back, and next time they'd bring everything they had. Humanity would need every secret weapon, every hidden advantage, and every ounce of ingenuity they possessed to survive what was coming. All commands, she broadcast, begin fortifying your positions. This was just their first wave. The real war starts now. The war room deep beneath Mount Cheyenne fell silent as the hologram materialized. The alien figure stood nearly 3 meters tall, its bioluminescent skin pulsing with patterns that the xenolinguists were still learning to interpret. This was Kivera, representative of the Nexus, a secret coalition of species who had also suffered under Meridian manipulation. Admiral Chen studied the alien carefully. After the Meridian betrayal, trusting another alien species didn't come easily. You're taking an enormous risk contacting us directly. The Meridians have already dispatched their main fleet. Kivera's translator converted the patterns of light into speech. They will arrive in your system within 30 of your days. They bring weapons that can crack planets. Dr. Maya Patel, monitoring the transmission from her lab on Titan, leaned forward. Why help us? What do you gain from opposing the Meridians? Kivera's skin rippled with what their xenobiologists had identified as amusement. You are not the first species they have attempted to guide and then destroy. But you are the first to successfully resist their initial attack. This presents an opportunity. Tactical displays materialized around the alien's hologram, showing Meridian fleet movements across the galaxy. The Meridians maintain power through careful manipulation of technological development. They uplift species just enough to be useful, but never enough to be truly independent. Those who advance too quickly or in unexpected directions are eliminated. Chen's eyes narrowed, like they tried to do to us. Precisely. But your species did something unprecedented. You accepted their gifts while secretly developing your own technology. You played weak while growing strong. This has created chaos in their carefully ordered system. Maya's voice came through the quantum comm. They're not just coming to destroy us, are they? They're coming to prevent other species from following our example. Your understanding is correct, Kivera confirmed. Already, word of your resistance spreads through hidden channels. Other species begin to question, to wonder if they too could break free of Meridian control. Commander Zhao's hologram joined the discussion from Jupiter. So why not help us openly? Why all the secrecy? Kivera's bioluminescence darkened. The Meridian's power extends beyond mere military might. They control trade routes, resources, communication networks. Open opposition means economic and social death for most species. But in secret, we can provide you with intelligence, technical data, and certain strategic assets. Like what? Chen demanded. The alien's response was to transmit a massive data package. As Maya's team began analyzing it, she gasped. Admiral, these are Meridian shield frequencies, weapon specifications, FTL coordination protocols, everything we'd need to fight them effectively. We and others have gathered this intelligence over centuries, Kivera explained, waiting for a species with both the will and the capability to use it. You have proven to be that species. Colonel O'Keefe's voice cut in from Mars. It's not just about us fighting back, is it? You want us to break their entire system of control. The galaxy changes. New threats emerge from dark space. The Meridians' enforced stagnation will doom us all eventually. Their time must end. Kivera's form pulsed with urgent patterns. We offer this alliance not merely for your survival, but for the freedom of all species to develop naturally, to reach their true potential. Chen shared quick glances with her command staff. The decision wasn't easy, but it was necessary. What do you need from us? Continue what you have already begun. Show the galaxy that the Meridians can be fought. While you engage their main fleet, our agents will help coordinate uprisings on a dozen worlds. The Meridians will face challenges to their power on multiple fronts. And if we succeed, Maya asked, then for the first time in 10,000 years, the galaxy will know true freedom of development. And humanity will have earned its place as an equal among the stars, not as carefully controlled servants. As the alliance was formalized and plans were made, Chen couldn't help but appreciate the irony. The Meridians had sought to prevent humanity from disrupting their galactic order. Instead, they had created exactly the catalyst for change they had feared. Nova, she addressed her eye, begin integrating this new data into our defense networks. And send word to all commands, we're not just fighting for Earth anymore. We're fighting for every species that's ever been held back, controlled, or threatened with extinction for daring to advance too quickly. The true scale of the conflict was finally becoming clear. This wasn't just a war for survival. It was a revolution that would reshape the galaxy itself. The massive holographic display in Earth's Central Command showed thousands of Meridian warships approaching through hyperspace. Thanks to the intelligence provided by Kivera and the Nexus, humanity could now track their movements with unprecedented precision. Admiral Chen stood before the United Earth Council, her voice steady despite the weight of her next words. The Meridians believe they're launching a surprise attack. They don't know we can see them coming. This is our chance to show them exactly what humanity is capable of. Dr. Maya Patel's hologram appeared, surrounded by complex mathematical equations. The quantum gravity web has been upgraded with Nexus tech. We can now create disruption fields large enough to trap their entire fleet. And the sword becomes a shield. Chen nodded. Begin Operation Shadow Strike. Throughout the solar system, humanity's forces moved with practiced precision. This wasn't just a defensive action. It was humanity's first major offensive against the Meridian Collective. Hidden shipyards in the asteroid belt revealed their true nature as vessels of unique human design emerged from concealment. These weren't copies of Meridian technology, but something entirely new. Where Meridian ships were elegant and crystalline, humanity's vessels were practical and modular. They incorporated principles of warfare developed over thousands of years of human conflict, adapted for space combat in ways the Meridians had never considered. Commander Zhou's voice came through from the Jupiter defense grid. First wave of stealth drones deployed. They're in position along the Meridian approach vectors. The Meridians had taught humanity about drone technology, but they'd never imagined how humans would combine it with centuries of experience in guerrilla warfare and asymmetric combat. Each drone carried a quantum disruption device, waiting to unleash chaos in the enemy fleet's formation. Colonel Okafor reported from Mars. Ground forces are ready. If they try to land troops again, we got some surprises waiting. The hours ticked by as the Meridian fleet approached. They emerged from hyperspace in perfect formation, only to find their careful battle plans immediately disrupted. The quantum gravity web activated, creating zones of distorted space that broke their fleet into manageable segments. Now, Chen ordered. Human ships dropped their stealth fields and attacked from multiple vectors. They didn't fight like the Meridians expected, with orderly formations and predictable tactics. Instead, they struck like predators, using every dirty trick and unexpected strategy developed through millennia of warfare. Stealth drones detonated their quantum disruptors, creating zones of impossible physics that tore Meridian ships apart. Human vessels executed maneuvers that seemed suicidal, diving through their own gravity disruption fields to strike at enemy weak points. They're adapting to the quantum web, Maya reported, implementing countermeasures just like Kivera warned they would. Good, Chen replied. Activate the phase shift protocols. The Meridians had believed they understood human capabilities. They had calculated their attack based on known human technology and expected tactics. They weren't prepared for ships that could partially phase out of normal space, passing through their own weapons fire to deliver devastating close-range attacks. Admiral, Nova announced, we're detecting quantum communications from the Meridian flagship. They're calling for reinforcements. Chen allowed herself a grim smile. Right on schedule. Colonel Okafor, you have a go for Operation Trojan. While the space battle raged, human stealth ships that had been hiding in the Oort cloud made their move. They didn't target the Meridian fleet. Instead, they slipped past the battle entirely, using the chaos as cover to jump to predetermined coordinates throughout Meridian space. Their mission wasn't to fight. They carried something far more dangerous: the truth. Evidence of Meridian manipulation and control, proof of their attempted genocide of lesser species, all broadcast on frequencies that the Meridians couldn't block without shutting down their own communication networks. "Ma'am," Nova reported, "we're receiving transmissions from multiple sectors. The Nexus uprising has begun. Meridian control is being challenged on 17 worlds and counting." The Meridian fleet's formation began to break down as contradictory orders flooded their command channels. Some ships turned to flee, while others pressed their attack with desperate fury. They were finally beginning to understand what they had unleashed by threatening humanity. "All units," Shen broadcast, "execute with extreme prejudice. Show them why you don't corner a species that turned warfare into an art form." The battle for Earth would be remembered as the day everything changed. Not just for humanity, but for every species that had lived under Meridian control. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their weapons, but their absolute refusal to submit to anyone who tried to destroy them. The Great Hall of the Meridian High Council lay in ruins, its crystalline architecture shattered by weapons it was never designed to withstand. Admiral Sarah Chen walked through the debris alongside Kivera, their unlikely alliance having succeeded beyond anyone's expectations. The Meridian leadership has formally surrendered. Kivera's bioluminescent patterns rippled with satisfaction. Their control over the galaxy's development ends today. The final battle hadn't been fought in space or on planetary surfaces, but through the very networks of control the Meridians had built. While their fleets were scattered across human space and dealing with widespread rebellion, elite human strike teams had penetrated their homeworld's defenses using technology that combined human ingenuity with Nexus intelligence. Dr. Maya Patel's hologram materialized beside them, her expression thoughtful as she studied the ancient council chamber. Their entire system was built on the assumption that technological progress could be controlled, directed, sanitized. They never understood that innovation thrives best in adversity. Throughout the chamber, representatives from dozens of species were gathering. Some openly, others still cloaked in stealth fields. The Nexus was finally emerging from the shadows, ready to help build something new from the ashes of Meridian control. "The real work begins now," Chen observed, watching as Colonel Okafor's security teams secured the facility. "Dismantling 10,000 years of enforced stagnation won't be easy." Kivera's skin pulsed with complex patterns that the translators were still learning to interpret. "That is precisely why humanity must take a leading role in what comes next. You have proven that rapid advancement doesn't have to lead to destruction." Commander Zhao's voice came through their quantum comms. "The last Meridian holdouts in the Orient sector have surrendered. The uprising was more successful than we anticipated. Seems like a lot of species were just waiting for a chance to break free." The gathered representatives turned as a new hologram appeared in the center of the chamber. Nova, Chen's AI, had evolved far beyond her original parameters during the conflict. Her avatar showed traces of both human and alien influence, the visual representation of the synthesis they were striving to achieve. "The Meridian control networks have been fully accessed," Nova reported. "We've discovered archives detailing thousands of suppressed technologies, scientific breakthroughs that were buried because they didn't fit the Meridian's vision of controlled progress." Maya's eyes lit up. "Think of what we could achieve by combining all this knowledge with unrestricted innovation. Not just human innovation, but the creativity of every species working together without artificial limitations." "That's exactly what the Meridians feared," Chen noted. "They believed unrestricted technological advancement would lead to chaos. Instead, it's offering us a chance to solve problems they never could." The chamber's ancient displays flickered to life, showing scenes from across the galaxy. Worlds that had been kept artificially primitive were already beginning to advance. Species that had been blocked from space travel were taking their first steps into the cosmos. Ancient rivals were sharing technologies that the Meridians had kept them from developing. There will be challenges, Kivera acknowledged. Not every species will handle sudden freedom well. Some may advance too quickly, others too slowly. But it should be their choice, their journey to make. Chen nodded. That's why we're not here to replace the Meridians as controllers. We're here to help build something new. A true coalition of species, each developing in their own way but working together when needed. As if to emphasize her words, a massive ship appeared in the sky above the council chamber, its design unlike anything seen before. It combined human practical engineering, Nexus quantum technology, and design elements from a dozen other species. It was ugly by Meridian standards, but it represented something they had never understood: the beautiful chaos of unrestricted innovation. The galaxy is entering a new age, Nova observed. The age of controlled progress is over. The age of unlimited potential begins. Chen looked around at the gathered representatives. Former enemies, new allies, and newly freed species, all working to build something unprecedented. Humanity had been drawn into this conflict because the Meridians feared their potential for unrestricted growth. In trying to prevent that very thing, they had caused exactly what they feared most: a fundamental shift in the galaxy's balance of power. But this shift wasn't towards chaos or destruction. It was towards something the Meridians had never imagined possible: a galaxy where advancement wasn't controlled by fear, but driven by hope. Where species could develop naturally while still working together. Where innovation wasn't seen as a threat, but as the greatest strength any civilization could possess. The war was over. The real adventure, helping to guide the galaxy into an unprecedented age of freedom and discovery, was just beginning.